My beloved child, I am speaking to you now not to comfort you, but to awaken you. There is a moment unfolding around you that looks ordinary on the surface, yet it carries eternal weight. You have felt it, the quiet tension in your spirit, the sense that something is about to shift, that everything you thought was delayed was actually being positioned. This is not coincidence. This is not imagination. This is me drawing close in a way you have not experienced before. You have been faithful in the visible things, but what you do not see is what I have been preparing in the unseen. While you questioned the silence, I was arranging encounters. While you wondered why doors stayed closed, I was protecting you from stepping into something too small. You thought you were being withheld from, but in truth, you were being preserved for something that requires precision. Don't rush past this moment. Don't skim over these words. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with understanding this truth. I know you have replayed old conversations in your mind, asking yourself where you went wrong. I know you have measured your progress against others and felt the sting of being overlooked. But hear me clearly now. What is coming to you cannot be copied, cannot be rushed, and cannot be accessed by shortcuts. That is why it feels slow. That is why it feels lonely. I was shaping your discernment, sharpening your hearing, strengthening your roots so that when the weight of what I am about to release rests on you, you will not collapse under it. There is a warning hidden inside this revelation. If you miss this moment, you don't just miss an opportunity, you miss alignment. You miss clarity. You miss the convergence of timing and obedience. This is why I am calling your attention now. Not tomorrow. Not when it's convenient. Right now. Don't skip this. What I am unveiling is not loud, but it is decisive. The people who miss it will say it came out of nowhere. You will know better. You are standing at the edge of a decision that looks small on the outside. A choice to listen again. A choice to trust me beyond your understanding. A choice to let go of the version of yourself that survived, so you can step into the one I am revealing. This is not about behavior modification. This is about identity alignment. When you see yourself the way I see you, everything else rearranges itself. Stay till the end of this unfolding. I am not finished speaking to you. There are things I have not yet said because your heart needed to be softened first. You needed to know that I see you, that I have not forgotten you, and that the delay was never denial. It was development. And now, the season is shifting. What you do next will echo longer than you realize. Pay attention. Lean in. This is the beginning of something that changes how you see everything. You are not where you think you are, and that realization alone is already shifting something inside you. What feels like standing still is actually a narrowing of focus. I have been quiet not because I was distant, but because I needed you to stop chasing noise. There are layers of truth you could not hear while everything else was speaking at the same volume. So I allowed the distractions to fall away one by one, until only my voice remained. I know this season has tested your patience more than your faith. You believed in me, but you struggled to believe that I was still working on your behalf. You kept asking for signs, not realizing that your endurance itself was the sign. Every time you chose not to quit, not to harden your heart, not to walk away, I was marking you. Not for survival, but for significance. Here is what most people never realize. Timing is not about readiness alone. It is about positioning. I could have answered you earlier, but the environment around you was not yet aligned with who you are becoming. Had I moved too soon, you would have been misunderstood, mishandled, even misused. I was not delaying you. I was relocating you internally so that when the moment arrives, you will recognize it without confusion. This is where the warning deepens. Missing, this is not about losing something external. It is about losing sensitivity. When you ignore the quiet invitations I place before you, your heart begins to treat sacred moments as common. And once that happens, even miracles can pass by unnoticed. Don't skip over this truth. What you are sensing right now is rare, and it will not knock twice in the same way. There is an instruction embedded in this season, and it is simpler than you expected. Slow your reactions and sharpen your listening. Not every opportunity is from me. Not every open door is meant for you. The next thing I release into your life will require discernment more than enthusiasm. That is why I have been training your spirit to pause before it celebrates. Something huge is waiting for you, but it will only reveal itself to those who recognize weight, not height. You may feel like you are shedding old desires, old ambitions, even old prayers. That is not loss, that is refinement. I am teaching you the difference between what you want and what you are called to carry. Some blessings feel exciting, others feel heavy because they come with responsibility. What I am preparing to entrust to you belongs to the second kind. Stay with this unfolding. Stay till the end. I am building something in layers, and you are now stepping into a deeper one. The clarity you have been asking for is closer than you think, but it will come in a way that changes how you move, not just how you feel. Do not rush to explain this season to others. Some revelations are meant to be lived before they are spoken. Watch carefully. Listen closely. What comes next will require your full attention, and when it arrives, you will understand why everything before this moment had to happen exactly as it did. There is a separation happening now that you did not initiate, yet you can feel it. Certain connections feel thinner. Certain voices no longer carry weight. Certain habits that once felt natural now feel heavy. This is not confusion. It is clarity forming beneath the surface. I am gently, intentionally removing what cannot travel with you into what I am about to reveal. You have wondered why some prayers stop feeling urgent, why some dreams no longer stir you the way they used to. It is because you are standing at the threshold between who you were sustained as and who you are being entrusted to become. The old fuel will not power the next assignment. So I'm changing your appetite before I change your surroundings. This is how I keep you from craving what would ultimately limit you. Hear this carefully, because this is where many miss everything. The next move I make in your life will not come with external confirmation. No applause. No immediate validation. In fact, it may initially feel smaller than what you expected, but that is because its power is not in its appearance. It is in its authority. What I am giving you next will shift atmospheres quietly before it ever shifts circumstances loudly. This is why your discernment has been under pressure. I have allowed situations that forced you to choose between pleasing people and honoring truth, between comfort and obedience, between familiarity and growth. These were not random tests. They were rehearsals. You are learning how to move without needing permission from those who cannot see what I am showing you. Do not skip over this moment. Something huge is waiting for you on the other side of obedience that feels unnecessary to others, but sacred to you. When I speak, I do not always explain. I reveal just enough for the next step, because trust is not built by knowing everything. It is built by moving when you don't. I know you are tired of being strong. I know you have carried responsibility quietly, wondering if anyone noticed the cost. I noticed. Every time you chose integrity when compromise would have been easier, I noticed. Every time you stayed gentle in a season that hardened others, I noticed. These choices are not forgotten. They are accumulating, and soon they will converge. What is coming will require you to release urgency. The temptation will be to rush, to announce, to prove that this season meant something. Resist that impulse. The acceleration you are about to experience will come from alignment, not effort. When the moment arrives, it will move quickly enough without you forcing it. Stay till the end of this unfolding, because the final shape of this revelation will surprise you. There is one more thing you must understand now. You are not being prepared to receive something just for yourself. What I am entrusting to you will impact others in ways you cannot yet measure. That is why the process has been so precise. Influence without depth destroys. Authority without intimacy collapses. I have been building both in you quietly, intentionally, patiently. Pay attention to what no longer fits. Honor what feels holy even if it feels hidden. You are closer than you realize. The weight you sense is not pressure, it is purpose drawing near. And when the next door opens, you will know it was not luck, not timing, not chance. It was me. What you are sensing now is not anticipation, it is recognition. Deep within you, something is aligning, clicking into place, as if a truth you have always known is finally stepping forward. This is not new information. This is ancient purpose being reactivated. I placed it inside you long before you ever asked me questions about your future, and now it is beginning to rise because the time to carry it has arrived. You may feel an unfamiliar stillness settling over you. Not emptiness, stillness. That is because striving is losing its grip. You are no longer chasing answers. You are becoming ready to receive instructions. There is a difference. Answers satisfy curiosity. And what I am about to entrust to you will alter the way you move, choose, speak, and even wait. This is where many hesitate. The moment clarity arrives, fear often follows. Not fear of failure, but fear of responsibility. Because once you see clearly, you can no longer pretend you didn't know. I am not exposing this to overwhelm you. I am revealing it because I trust you. You have proven faithful in the quiet places, and now I am showing you why that mattered. Do not overlook this. The next door that opens will not look dramatic. It may appear ordinary, even inconvenient, but it will carry a gravity you cannot shake. Something inside you will say, "This is it," even if your mind argues otherwise. That inner witness is not emotion, it is alignment. Don't skip this discernment. It will save you from distractions disguised as breakthroughs. You are entering a season where delay will no longer be your test, discernment will. Not everything that comes quickly is from me. Not everything that feels good is good for you. What I am releasing into your life will demand restraint before it demands action. And that restraint is what will protect the fullness of what is coming. Stay till the end of this revelation, because here is the truth that changes everything. What you thought was preparation was actually purification. I was not just strengthening your gifts, I was refining your motives. I was not just opening your mind, I was guarding your heart. Because the impact ahead of you requires a clean inner life more than a visible platform. You will soon notice that conversations shift. Opportunities adjust. Even time itself feels different. This is not coincidence. It is convergence. Pieces that once felt scattered are moving into alignment, and when they lock together, momentum will follow naturally. You won't have to force it. You won't have to convince anyone. Authority will rest on you quietly, and those who are meant to recognize it will. Something huge is waiting for you, but it will not announce itself with noise. It will come with clarity, with peace, with a sense of rightness that steadies you instead of exciting you. That is how you will know it is from me. Do not rush ahead in excitement. Do not fall back in fear. Stand where you are, alert and open. You are not late. You are not early. You are precisely where you need to be for what comes next to land fully. And when it does, you will understand why missing this moment would have meant missing everything. What comes next will challenge the way you define strength. Until now, you believed endurance meant pushing through, holding on, surviving at all costs. But I am teaching you a deeper strength, the power to stand still without anxiety, to move only when prompted, to trust silence as much as instruction. This is not passivity. This is authority settling into place. There will be moments very soon when nothing around you appears to change, yet everything within you will. Your reactions will soften. Your urgency will quiet. You will notice that situations that once unsettled you no longer have access to your peace. That is not numbness. That is maturity. I am anchoring you so deeply that surface-level storms can no longer uproot you. Here is a truth few are told. Before expansion comes compression. I am narrowing your focus again, but this time not to restrain you, to aim you. Like an arrow pulled back before release, the tension you feel now is directional. Do not misinterpret it as resistance. It is alignment preparing for movement. If you rush this moment, you will dull the precision of what I am about to do through you. Don't skip this understanding. It protects what is coming. You may soon be faced with an invitation that looks appealing but feels misaligned. It will flatter your abilities, appeal to your past desires, and promise speed. Pause. What is meant for you will not need to persuade you away from peace. I am teaching you that discernment is not loud. It is calm, steady, and unwavering. Trust the quiet no as much as the open yes. Something huge is waiting for you, but it will require courage of a different kind, the courage to disappoint expectations that are not rooted in my will. You are not here to fulfill every demand placed on you. You are here to steward what I place in your hands. And stewardship means saying no without guilt and yes without fear. You have carried a hidden grief for a long time, the grief of becoming someone others did not expect. You loved deeply, served faithfully, and still found yourself misunderstood. Let me speak clearly now. Misunderstanding does not invalidate calling. Often it confirms it. If everyone understood you, you would only be echoing what already exists. I am shaping you to introduce what does not yet exist. Stay till the end of this unfolding, because the next phase will require you to trust me beyond outcomes. I am not asking you to believe everything will work out the way you imagine. I am asking you to believe that whatever unfolds will work you deeper into who you are meant to be. That trust will free you from the need to control timelines, people, and results. There is a subtle shift coming in how you hear me. Guidance will feel clearer, but less dramatic. You will no longer need constant reassurance because intimacy has replaced instruction-heavy seasons. You will recognize my direction the way you recognize a familiar voice in a crowded room, without effort, without strain. Do not announce this season prematurely. What is being formed now is fragile only in its beginnings. Protect it with humility. Guard it with patience. Let it take shape fully before you expose it to opinions that are not equipped to nurture it. You are not being rushed, and you are not being withheld from. You are being entrusted with timing itself. And that is why this moment matters more than you realize. What you do with this stillness will determine how you carry the acceleration that follows. Remain attentive. Remain grounded. The ground beneath you is steady, and the path ahead is opening, quietly, deliberately, unmistakably. You felt it when I spoke about stillness and alignment. This is where movement becomes holy. You've prayed. Use me, Lord, and I am answering you now by inviting you to help carry this fire to souls who are still waiting to hear my voice. What you give in this moment becomes seed in living soil, turning into a harvest of hearts awakened, families restored, and faith reignited. As my word says, those who sow generously will reap generously, and I am breathing on every gift given in faith right now. When you support through Super Thanks, memberships, or PayPal, the link is in the video description. You are stepping into the river with me, letting your generosity flow where my voice must reach. I bless your hands as you give. I bless your household with peace and increase, and I open doors no one can shut. This is not a donation. It is worship, alignment, and partnership with heaven. Step forward now, give boldly, and watch me multiply what you place in my hands. What you are about to understand now will rearrange how you interpret everything that came before. There was a reason certain answers never arrived when you demanded them. There was a reason clarity felt delayed even when you were ready to obey. I was not testing your patience. I was protecting your perception. Some truths, if revealed too early, become distorted by fear, pride, or insecurity. I waited until your heart could carry truth without weaponizing it against yourself. You are now entering a phase where responsibility increases quietly, not publicly, not visibly, internally. You will feel a stronger pull to integrity, even in moments no one sees. You will notice that small compromises feel heavier than before. That is not pressure, that is authority settling in. When authority grows, tolerance for misalignment shrinks. This is how you know you are being trusted with more. Here is something sacred most never realize. The moment before elevation often feels like invisibility. People may overlook you. Recognition may stall. Feedback may go silent. That silence is intentional. I am severing your dependence on affirmation so that when influence arrives, it does not own you. Don't skip this moment. Missing this would mean building your future on applause instead of obedience, and that would cost you everything later. You are not being prepared for noise. You are being prepared for weight. Weight requires grounding. Weight requires stillness. Weight requires depth. That is why I have been drawing you inward while others are rushing outward. The work I am doing in you now will allow you to stand steady when others buckle under pressure. What is coming will require you to be unshakable, not impressive. Something huge is waiting for you, but it will test your loyalty to me before it rewards your faith in me. You will soon have the opportunity to choose alignment over advantage. The advantage will look reasonable. It will make sense. It will even seem harmless. But alignment will feel costly. Choose alignment. Every time. That choice will echo farther than you can imagine. You may be tempted to explain yourself in this next season, to clarify your intentions, to defend your decisions. Resist that urge. Not everyone is meant to understand you at every stage. Explanation drains energy meant for execution. I will defend what I initiate. Your role is not to convince, it is to obey. Stay till the end of this unfolding, because here is the revelation that anchors everything. You are not waiting for a moment. You are becoming the moment. The shift you have been praying for is not arriving externally first. It is being completed internally. Once that alignment is finished, circumstances will follow naturally, almost effortlessly. What felt impossible before will suddenly require no striving at all. You will soon notice a narrowing again. Fewer options, fewer distractions, fewer voices. Do not panic. That narrowing is focus. I am removing alternatives so that obedience becomes obvious. When the path is clear, hesitation fades. This clarity will not come with fireworks. It will come with peace so deep it steadies your breathing. There is one final warning you must hold close. Do not romanticize the past when the future begins to open. Nostalgia can become a trap if you let it. Honor what was, but do not return to it. You cannot step into what I am releasing while holding on to what I have already completed. Remain sensitive. Remain humble. Remain close. You are no longer in preparation for someday. You are in transition for now. The ground beneath you is shifting, but it is not unstable. It is making room. And very soon, you will realize why missing this moment would not have delayed you. It would have redirected you away from everything I have been building toward all along. What you are stepping into now will require a new way of seeing me. Not as the one who only rescues you from trouble, but as the one who intentionally leads you into responsibility. This is where relationship deepens into partnership. I am not asking you to simply follow instructions anymore. I am inviting you to carry discernment, to move with me instead of waiting behind me. You may notice that I am no longer interrupting every wrong turn immediately. That is not absence. That is trust. I am allowing you to feel the weight of choice because maturity is born when love and responsibility meet. You are learning to recognize my heartbeat, not just my commands. And when you move from that place, you move with authority rather than fear. There is a subtle danger here, and I must speak it plainly. Confidence without humility can quietly undo everything I have built. As clarity increases, guard your heart. You will begin to see patterns others miss. You will sense motives behind words. You will recognize timing shifts before they happen. Do not let that insight turn into distance or pride. Insight is meant to serve love, not replace it. Don't skip this correction. It will keep you grounded when influence grows. Something huge is waiting for you, but it will not flatter you. It will stretch you. It will ask more of your character than your talent, more of your patience than your speed. You have prayed for impact, and I am answering, but impact always demands cost. What you are about to steward will affect lives, directions, and outcomes far beyond your own. That is why I have been so intentional with your inner life. You will soon encounter resistance that does not come from opposition, but from misunderstanding. People may mislabel your restraint as fear, your patience as passivity, your boundaries as distance. Let them. You do not need to correct every narrative. When alignment speaks, explanations become unnecessary. Stay till the end of this unfolding, because vindication in my timing is quieter and far more lasting than defense in yours. There will also be moments of subtle acceleration. Opportunities will appear quickly. Conversations will open doors without effort. Pay attention in those moments. Acceleration without peace is a warning. Acceleration with peace is confirmation. I am teaching you to measure movement not by speed, but by rest. When you move with me, even fast seasons feel anchored. You may feel a growing pull to simplify your schedule, your words, your commitments. That is wisdom rising. Complexity often hides fear. Simplicity reveals trust. I am inviting you to live lighter, not because life is getting smaller, but because your focus is getting sharper. What you carry next must not be crowded by what no longer serves the calling forming within you. Do not underestimate the power of obedience in small, unseen moments. A single decision to remain honest, to stay kind, to pause instead of react. These are the hinges upon which large outcomes swing. Heaven moves through alignment, not noise. And alignment is often built quietly, choice by choice. There is one more thing I need you to hear now. You are not behind. You never were. Every step, every delay, every closed door shaped a discernment that cannot be taught quickly. What others rushed into, you were protected from. What others celebrated too early, you were preserved beyond. That preservation is about to make sense. Remain attentive. Remain soft. Remain bold without being loud. You are closer than ever, not to a finish line, but to a beginning that carries weight, purpose, and consequence. And when the moment fully opens, you will recognize it not by surprise, but by peace. Because your spirit will already know, this is what everything was leading toward. There is a moment approaching when you will realize that the ground beneath your feet feels different. Not unstable, settled, firm, as if something invisible has locked into place. That moment will not announce itself loudly, but you will sense it immediately. It will feel like permission had been granted, not from people, not from circumstances, but from within. This is when movement becomes natural instead of forced. Until now, you have learned how to wait. Now I am teaching you how to move without rushing. There is a discipline to forward motion that few understand. It is the discipline of acting without panic, of advancing without anxiety, of trusting direction more than speed. You are stepping into that discipline now, and it will distinguish you in ways you cannot yet see. You may notice that I am asking you to let go of one last attachment. Not something sinful, not something obvious, but something familiar. A way of thinking, a pattern of reacting, a safety net you once leaned on. This release is not punishment. It is preparation. What I am bringing you into requires free hands and an undivided heart. Don't skip this release. Holding on to it would cost you clarity in the moment it matters most. Something huge is waiting for you, but it will not arrive the way you once imagined. It will not solve every problem instantly or remove every challenge. Instead, it will place you in a position where your choices matter more than ever before. Influence is not about control. It is about responsibility. And I trust you with responsibility because you have learned restraint. You may soon feel a strong urge to look back, not with regret, but with comparison. You will be tempted to measure what is opening now against what you thought should have happened earlier. Resist that urge. Comparison blurs gratitude, and gratitude sharpens discernment. What is unfolding now is not late. It is ripe. And ripe things must be handled carefully, not hurried. Stay till the end of this unfolding, because here is a truth that anchors you in the days ahead. I am not leading you into a season of ease, but into a season of meaning. Meaning carries weight. Meaning requires courage. Meaning demands presence. But meaning also brings fulfillment that comfort never could. You will wake up with a deeper sense of purpose, even on difficult days, because your spirit will recognize that you are exactly where you are meant to be. There will be moments when you feel exposed, not in weakness, but in visibility. More eyes, more expectations, more responsibility. Do not shrink back. I am not exposing you to harm. I am positioning you for impact. What I reveal through you will not be for spectacle, but for transformation. Lives will shift quietly because you chose obedience when no one was watching. I am also teaching you how to rest differently. Not escape rest, not distraction rest, but rest that comes from alignment. You will find that even when your schedule fills, your soul remains steady. That is how you will know you are moving with me. Busyness will no longer be your enemy. Misalignment will. And you now know how to recognize the difference. Here is one final instruction for this moment. Remain teachable even as confidence grows. I will continue to guide you, correct you, refine you, but now it will feel like collaboration rather than correction. Do not resist that shift. It is a sign of maturity, not distance. You are closer than you think to the moment where preparation turns into stewardship. When waiting gives way to movement. When silence gives way to direction. And when trust gives way to testimony, not spoken too soon, not shared for attention, but lived out with consistency and depth. Pay attention to what feels anchored rather than exciting. Watch for peace that remains even when outcomes are unclear. That is where I am leading you next. And when the door fully opens, you will not need to ask if this is it. You will step forward calmly, confidently, knowing this is what you were being shaped for all along. Now listen closely, because this is where everything converges. What you have walked through was not a detour, not a delay, not a mistake. It was a narrowing path designed to lead you here, to this posture, this awareness, this readiness. You are no longer asking, when will it happen? Because deep within you, you already know it has begun. There is a sacred shift happening in how you carry yourself. You are no longer reaching for permission. You are no longer striving to be seen. You are no longer negotiating your worth. That is because truth has settled into you, and truth carries a quiet authority. When truth takes root, fear loses its voice. You may still feel resistance around you, but it will no longer live inside you. And that changes everything. I need you to understand this clearly. Missing this moment would not have looked dramatic. It would have looked subtle, comfortable, familiar. You could have kept going as you were and still appeared fine. But fine is not what I created you for. Fine would have cost you depth. Fine would have cost you alignment. Fine would have slowly numbed your discernment until destiny felt optional. That is why I warned you. That is why I called you closer. That is why you are here right now. Something huge has been waiting, not ahead of you, but for you. Waiting for you to become steady enough to carry it without breaking, humble enough to steward it without pride, and bold enough to walk in it without apology. That waiting is over. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are aligned. And alignment is what unlocks movement. You will notice that the need to prove yourself continues to fade. Let it go. You will notice that your tolerance for chaos continues to shrink. Under that, you will notice that obedience now feels less like sacrifice and more like clarity. That is the mark of trust fulfilled. I am not dragging you into purpose. I am walking with you in it. Do not skip what comes next in your life by rushing to explain it, defend it, or label it. Live it. Let consistency speak. Let fruit appear in its time. Let peace be your confirmation. There will be people who recognize what is on you without you saying a word. There will also be people who never understand. Both outcomes are acceptable. Neither determines your obedience. Here is the final truth I want to seal in you. You were never behind. You were being shaped in private for a moment that requires depth over noise, discernment over excitement, and presence over performance. That shaping is complete enough now for movement to begin. Not frantic movement. Intentional movement. Grounded movement. From here forward, when you sense my prompting, respond without fear. When you sense restraint, honor it without frustration. When you sense peace, trust it without second guessing. I will continue to guide you, but now you will recognize my direction more quickly because intimacy has replaced uncertainty. Stay anchored in what I have shown you. Return to this stillness when the world gets loud. Protect your inner life as fiercely as you pursue external progress. Remember, what I am building through you will last because it is rooted in who you have become, not just what you can do. This is the end of the warning. and the beginning of the walk. You did not miss it. You did not lose it. You did not arrive too late. You arrived ready. Walk forward with courage. Walk forward with humility. Walk forward with trust. I am with you. I have gone before you. I will remain beside you. Amen. You did not miss this moment, and neither will heaven overlook what you do next. You've asked me to let your life matter eternally. This is how I let your obedience echo into other lives. When you give now, you are placing oil in the lamp that carries my voice farther, lighting paths for souls who would have missed everything without it. My promise is alive and speaking to you. Give, and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. As you sow through Super Thanks, YouTube memberships, or PayPal, the link is waiting in the video description. I mark this act as prophetic, intentional, and powerful. I release favor over your future, peace over your family, and acceleration over what has been delayed. Heaven is attentive to this moment, and your generosity carries eternal weight. Act now, give with an open heart, and step fully into the blessing I am releasing. My beloved child, if this message awakens something in you, if you felt the weight of warning, miss everything, stirring your spirit, then I invite you to hype this video right now. Use the hype feature as a prophetic action, because when you hype what heaven is speaking, you help push this warning to souls who are one moment away from missing what I am doing. Your hype is not noise, it is alignment. It tells the algorithm and the atmosphere, this word must travel. And as you like this video, you are placing your agreement on this message, declaring that this revelation will not stop with you. Now, before you leave, I want you to seal this moment with your voice. Go to the comments and declare something bold, something alive, something tied to this word. Write, I will not miss what God is doing, or I choose alignment over delay, or I am ready for what God has prepared. When you comment, you are not just engaging a platform. You are marking a moment. Your declaration becomes a witness that this warning reached you and that you responded. Let the comments become a river of faith where others see your stand and are stirred to make their own. And now, hear me clearly as I speak to your heart. If this channel has become a place where my voice meets you, where clarity replaces confusion and purpose replaces fear, then subscribe and stay planted here. Do not drift in a season where discernment matters this much. By subscribing, you are choosing to stay under a cover